he's been in comedy stock for a long, long time. We all know him, and I think a lot of you do as well. You'll probably see him wandering about with a top hat on. But without further ado, big round of applause for Merlin.
Sorry about the whole drinks thing. Makes you feel any better, interpret it as something sexual. Okay.
Thanks,
Merlin. Where the yeah, that's it. The rest of the show is going to be containing something. Okay. My life seems to be governed by paper at the moment. Dissertation, dissertation, and dissertation. So I'm not going to have to tread by memorizing anything. That'd be crazy. Right, just to get going, shout out a lot of enthusiasm for a bunch of obviously likable things. Okay. Who likes deep crust pizza? Yeah! Who likes deep pan apple pie? That's a thing. Yeah! Who likes deep fat fried things? Yeah! Who likes deeply psychologically disturbed bearded guys who use comedy as a platform to validate their childhood through crude exposition of deep-seated traumas? Yeah! Okay, right there. Now you're in the right mood. At least that guy. That guy's me again, isn't it? Too early for self-referential humor. Okay. I know. I just like talking about him in the third person so I can forget he's me. Anyway, hands up if you. Oh, more audience participation. It's only the first paragraph of this thing here, so you better get your chance in. Who's open to the possibility that who believes in a god? Who actually believes in a god with whatever theistic sense? Great. And who's open to the potential that there might be a higher power of some kind beyond our limited mortal awareness? Yeah. Okay. I'm essentially going to be pitching to all of you yet to raise your hands. Anyway, for instance, Jesus' mama so fat she took it in the ear. I probably should have fit that down more to iconologists and art historians, but it's all like Rave Light and the Dove, like something about like her, immaculate sex. Anyway, I'm bad at religion. I'm always getting my tongue stuck in the Bible and the Quran stuck in my. Well, let's just say the Quran doesn't like it at all. But I'm bad at drugs too, or so the cops keep on telling me. The other day, I got back to my flat, and my flatmate was like, "We stayed up all night on speed, and we had shrooms for breakfast." And I was like, "Oh man, it's like everyone's doing more drugs than me." And he was like, "Yes, it's exactly like that stereotype, except you missed out all the fucking tentacles." I was like, "What?" Oh, for breakfast, right? But all I think I'm a nicely rounded, malfunctional individual. And I'm bad at relationships too. For instance, he looks down at the text. I like to think the other members of relationships are perhaps the ones that are actually bad at them, though. But I guess that means I just don't get relationships, really. That's it. That's what the psychoanalyst would say. Well, it could also be that maybe it's just the other members keep on finding out. But anyway, a few weeks ago, in all seriousness, the love of my life broke up with me. Pause for audience sympathy. 2, 3, 4. And if ooh, bird. It's okay. The audience participation was in the first paragraph, as you might recall. And if any of you are wondering what that might have been like in emoticon form, just to get some sort of semblance of the sheer post-verbal pain I've been going through, just to get some visual idea of the sublime depths of human objection through the emoticon, that highest form of human poetry, then one, please don't pass on your genes. Really be careful. And 2, that L shape with the dot in the corner, which you received in an email recently, that's not a win leprechaun, that's your position on a linear autism graph. And 3, well, to be honest, it was probably a colon B. But anyway, the story, and let's call the old love of my life subject AZ36 for now, is a tried and tested technique to dehumanize the subject and render permissible the stream of invective I'm about to launch on her for the audience who doesn't find it very easy to hate persons, but a lot more easy to hate objects. Used in NAM, don't you know? Anyway, we had a glorious summer, and then subject AZ36, which is going to be so hard to remember, graduated with a 2-1, if you know what I mean. Firstly, literal sentiment, that's... Subject AZ32 had a growing existential crisis over what to do in her post-university life. She turned to me and she'd say, "What does it mean? And I'd say, carrot cake, seriously, that's what I made for you. It's meant to be carrot cake. and she'd say something inscrutable like women always do, like 323-879. What does it mean? And she'd be like, exactly. I'd be like, how did this conversation fucking start? And she'd be like, I'm having an existential crisis. And I say, that's something which ex-presidents, divinity students, and Cher have. and she'd be like, I W. But yeah, I guess there are a lot of miscommunication issues. From my angle, she'd see one I'd smile at and take for spot dancing, and from her angle, I looked more like a symbolic association with university career that for her was recurrently marked by intellectual, emotional, and experiential failure. But apples and pears. So women like subject AZ36, that's working. View the world, I suppose, much like a US smart bomb, where an emotional face to hit you to cause the maximum amount of emotional civilian deaths. It's all the same after relationships, of course. You come away with nothing more than fucked up emotions and a penchant for that cheese to like. I know when I move out, the only thing I'm going to take away from my flatmate is an odd love of dubstep, and an even odder desire to have it in the background every part of my life. I mean, just imagine how awesome things would be if they're all dubstep, like traffic lights, or tannoy announcements, or pacemakers. Yeah. Speaking of certain death, they say when death hits a family, it knocks them for 10. And not being in any way a sporting man, I have no idea what they mean. Shortly after my girlfriend dumped me, my grandfather died. This is all just 3 weeks ago, and actually true. It was a closed casket, but I made a point of going to the funeral directors an hour before the service, purely so I could have what's a truly formative and perspective-altering experience. And when I was there in the funeral home, they had this like trashy sort of lift music in the background. It's like plastic flower and stuff. But it's still like a heavy emotional situation. I took out my pack of cigarettes, and I was overrun by the implications and sense of mortality, and now I can honestly say that cigarettes, contrary to popular remark, do not smell of death, so ha! No, it's sulfurous! So, formative experiences, schmormative experience, they wouldn't let me eat the corpse, blah, blah, blah. I found this leaflet. Yeah, I found this leaflet. It's called, or maybe it's not called, could you look at the leaflet? Children's question about death. Thank you, that was written in brackets. You can probably find this in several field records, I suppose. But it's about children coping with grief. And first of all, I'd like to say that they call themselves dignity. That one word, of course, that doesn't actually fit in death as such. But any other word applies to that, sure. Like spectacular taste and deliciousness, but not dignity. Seriously, it's in Leviticus. And lo, on the third day, Jesus had a 70s funk-themed party, and was widely held that the host was possessive of spectacular taste and deliciousness. Yeah, read the Bible. So, I especially like the definition they have on the back under the title of What is Dignity, which constitutes a nationwide network of 500 funeral directors. But they have a great grasp of abstracts. It's really good that a few records has this. But inside the thing's gold. It does a great job of calming child's nerves. Why do people have to die? In one particular section asks. Imagine how crowded the world would get if we all lived forever. Common sense answers. Other great quotes include, why couldn't someone I didn't love die instead? Reply, right now, someone else just like you, somewhere else in the world, is asking the same question. Which is great, it just doubles the amount of death little Timmy has to deal with. It's disturbingly pedantic and suggestive for a kid's book. It's great, it's the most repeated phrase is almost everyone lives a long life. Almost everyone doesn't die before they're a grown-up. Almost everyone dies of natural causes, that's my favorite. How do you broker that with a child? But the best stuff is inside. And so he turns to the original source.